Hey everybody, welcome back to the second episode of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy here on TForbes Gaming. When we last saw our heroes, we accidentally knocked our best friend into a giant black pit of ooze, turned him into a weird cross between an otter and a weasel, and now set out on our quest to turn him back. We have to collect 20 power cells in order to power a shield that will allow us to get across a fire canyon, and I think that's everything, so let's get started. We're now leaving Samos's hut, heading down into the village, but first let's see what our good friend Kira has to say. Maybe she has an idea of a quest or a way we can get power cells.
Hey baby, what do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer?
Rule number 1, I don't date animals.
Ah, you don't know what you're missing.
Listen, if you need something to keep you busy, my father always talked about an ancient precursor pipeline hidden deep underground. Some of these pipes end in vents from which eco flows freely, and some have been capped off so that the eco is sealed back. There must be a way to turn the capped vents on. I traced part of the pipeline back to the Forbidden Temple. Maybe you should look there for some type of switch.
Okay. Fair enough. That seems to be our second little, quest to do, or second area that we'll actually go into. First off, we're gonna spend this episode checking out Sandover Village. That's Jak's home. That's where Daxter's from, and this is actually gonna be the little hub of the first third of this game. Let's take a little time to kind of check out each of these houses. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Don't tell me that you two have problems as well. The first I hear of monster sightings near the village, and now this. See those gears up there, boys? See them? See how they're not moving? That means our village has no power. The eco beam coming from the jungle temple has been interrupted. And boys, everyone's too frightened to go out and find out what's happened.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah. Oh, you're funny. Now look, if you two fix the eco beam, I'll give you a power cell. Oh, and another thing, if by any chance you're interested in making a contribution to my re-election campaign, I might be willing to part with yet another power cell. The minimum contribution is a very modest 90 precursor orbs.
Okay, so that gives us an option of 2 more power cells we can get. Now, I just kind of want to point out, he said that the village has no power, right? Well, this lamp is on, and that's fine, that might be a battery. But if you go into any of these other huts, there's nothing that requires electricity. So I don't know what the whole problem is. Like, even the lanterns out here, like, they all work. So I don't know what the big deal is, but hey, he said he'd give us a power cell. We're gonna go get the power back on. Here is the first scout fly in Sandover Village. That's pretty good. I actually see the second one right here. Bam! This looks like a fisherman's village or something. Let's move on. Funny story, this guy in the PlayStation 2 version of the game was actually referred to as Jak's uncle. But due to some retcons, I guess, that they made in the later games, that no longer made sense. So they kind of removed that connection when they made the HD collection.
Well, hello there, my dear boy. You've caught me at a most inopportune moment. I was to set off on my journeys yesterday, but I seem to be a spot short on the old precursor orbs. I would have pledged my word that I had 90 of them, but I gather that your young friend, the little annoying, miserably ugly one, might have just pilfered them as a sort of a spot of fun. Anyway, would you be kind enough to loan your dear old uncle 90 precursor orbs so he can get underway? I would offer you a power cell in return.
Okay, so yet another person in this village that wants 90 precursor orbs. You're actually going to find that is is pretty common. 90 seems to be the amount that everybody wants. It's easy and not too much, to be completely honest. Now, if we keep going this way, it's going to take us to the beach that Samos wanted us to go to in order to clear up his eco vents. We're not going to go that way quite yet. It's actually better if we go to the jungle first, just because of, well, I'll get to that. For now, I'm just kind of running around, grabbing a couple of these scout flies, trying to rescue as many of them as we can. It's always better to get them when you first go into an area, just because that way you won't forget about them, and you'll have them when you come back.
Ever come back to me?
Oh, what's this guy have to say?
Hey! Little furry dude! Oh, I thought for a moment you were my muse.
Your what?
Haven't you ever seen a muse before? It's a little glowing squirrel about your size, full of spunk, and crazy as a lark.
Oh, I get it. Like a sidekick.
As a matter of fact, without my muse, I just can't sculpt. But with her around, I see beauty in everything, you know? Right now, I couldn't chisel my way out of a box. I think she ran away to that misty island. Oh, I just hope she's all right. It's worth a power cell if you bring her back to me.
Wait a minute. We are not going back to Misty Island. Are we?
Sorry, Daxter. I'm pretty sure that if we want 100%, we're gonna have to go back to Misty Island. Anyway, let's keep going. I think, did I grab all of the... yeah, pretty sure I went in everywhere. Let's just head down this way. Check out if I missed anything around here. Okay, wow. I don't think we're going to be taking this boat to Misty Island. It looks like some kind of a lurker shark took a bite out of this. Or a shark. They're called lurker sharks in this game. If you remember those little ape things from the opening cutscene that were working for those two evil people, those are called lurkers. This is the boat we're going to take, but it doesn't look like we have any options of borrowing it just yet to go to Misty Island. So we're going to have to wait. Maybe we have to get the fisherman's permission or what. But it begs the question why we were able to take it out later in the night, or earlier in the night, sorry, and can't bring it out now. I don't know, it's probably one of those just things that they have no intention of explaining. This is one more house. Holy. This lady apparently really likes her birds.
Oh my, what a horribly sick little bird.
You don't look so good yourself, lady.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were a spotted orange-bellied rainframe. You know, yesterday I saw some terribly vicious creatures capture a mother flut-flut near the beach. Now there's this poor little orphan egg sitting in a nest at the top of the cliff, and I can't get to it. If you could climb up there and push it off, I've piled some hay down at the base to catch it safely. Do an old lady a favor, and I'll give you a power cell.
Okay, I think this lady might have been playing a little bit too much Assassin's Creed if she thought that you can push something off a cliff, and as long as it lands on hay, it'll be fine. But, you know what, if that's what she wants us to do to get a power cell, fine. That's what we'll do. This little thing here is an example of the precursor tech I was talking about. It requires you to be charged up with blue eco for it to work, but once it is, these particular ones, if you get charged with blue eco and you stand under it, you are going to get a whole bunch of, what are they called? Precursor orbs, right. I've played this game so many times, yet I can't remember the simplest name of the item you're always going to see. Okay, I think this is the last member of, Sandover Village. Let's see what he has to say.
Gotta milk those yak cows. Gotta milk those yak cows. Oh, it's you. Oh, just resting my tired bones. I've been trying to get those ornery yak cows back into the pen all day. Some strange creatures tried to steal them earlier. You think you could help an old man and try to get them back into the corral?
Okay, now, he didn't say it, but every other person in this entire game, when they ask you to do something, they offer you a power cell in return, so let's just assume that that's what he's gonna do. Okay, 5. There are only 2 skill flies remaining. And, okay, I know where one of them is, but I'm kind of drawing a blank for where the last one is, to be honest, so it may take me a second to... Oh, no, never mind. We're good. I just saw it up there on that cliff. Let's bring these yak cows into the pen. I guess they're a combination of a yak and a cow. But that was probably pretty obvious to any of you. Even if you haven't played the game, it's in the name. There are 5 of them, and luckily the mechanics for pushing them and getting them to go where you want them to isn't too complicated. Just kind of walk behind them and they are going to go away from you. Maybe Jak smells, or who knows, but they'll try to get as far away from you as they can. There's only 2 more. I don't know if I'm talking too much or talking too little. So far, it's a lot more than I usually do, to be completely honest. When I'm gaming, I missed the gate. No, go back that way. When I'm gaming, it's usually a pretty silent experience for me, mostly because I'm not talking to anybody. But yeah, this is kind of fun. You know what? I can just talk. Maybe I will end up talking more if I have something on my mind to talk about, or maybe less, and I'll just let the game kind of play out. But for now, you know what? I'm happy with the way things are at the moment. Just kind of... I missed the gate again. I guess you gotta come in at more of an angle if you want them to run in. And there we go. All 5 of them safe back in their pen. Let's go see if the farmer is, in fact, gonna give us a power cell.
Ah, well done, my boy. You actually got those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can sleep in peace. Take this power cell for your trouble.
There we go, 5 power cells. We're a quarter of the way through this section of the game already. Let's grab a couple more of these precursor orbs, see where this path leads. Oop, missed that. Okay. Like that guy, I always laugh, because I guess that's the point of the joke, but he's saying that now he can sleep in peace. It's not like he was really having any trouble sleeping in the first place. Anyway, this here is the Fire Canyon. We have a hover bike, but the shield needs to be a little bit stronger if we're going to cross this lava without getting roasted. Because I guess this game doesn't want to ignore combustion. Just because you're not touching the lava doesn't mean it doesn't hurt you. Or at least it talks about that when you're on the zoomer, but you can get as close to it as you want on foot and you're going to be fine. Don't worry about that. Straight ahead of us is actually the Forbidden Woods or Lost Woods, I can never remember. It'll tell us as soon as we walk a little bit closer in there, but first, let's head up here. There's a scout fly up here and a couple precursor orbs. There we go. 6, only 1 up. Well, crap, I completely missed that jump. I gotta be more careful with the camera. Sometimes it'll just move to a place that you weren't really expecting it to, and then you get something like that happening. Now, I didn't point this out on Geyser Rock because there wasn't an example or a need for it, but Jak also has another ability where if he rolls and jumps, he will actually travel a little bit further, which is useful for places where a double jump and a spin won't make. There aren't very many of them, but just in case, it's good to have that ability to travel just a little bit further. If I'm counting right, yep, this is our 7th scout fly and the 2nd power cell from Sandover Village. We're going pretty fast. The rest of them we won't really be able to get until we've been other places. But oh, there's 2 more precursor orbs here. Let's see if we can get those from this guy.
Who awakens the oracle? Wait, one of you has the light within. From before time, I have watched and waited for the true hero to return. Present to me 120 precursor orbs for each power cell I contain.
Okay, so these guys, I think there are 3 of them in the game, 1 in each hub world, and they need 240 precursor orbs to get the power cells in their eyes, which is not bad. Again, like there are plenty of precursor orbs in this game, and they're just kind of laying about, so there's no problem in getting enough to pay off everybody. Okay, let's grab these last ones. We'll head around this corner, get the last of the things in Sandover Village. Forbidden Jungle, that's what it is. No woods or anything in the title, I was totally off. Now, this thing is kind of... it always threw me off. Even though it says we're in the Forbidden Jungle right now, these precursor orbs here will actually count towards the Sandover Village total. There we go, we now have 50 in Sandover Village, 50 in Geyser Rock, so that's 100. We could go back and we could trade them for 90 power cells in the village proper, but I much prefer waiting until we have enough to just buy everything in one go. Now that we've finished Sandover Village, I actually think that's a good place for us to stop here today. So, that's everything, and I'll see you guys next time.